While we study the human development, it is important to understand the growth, development, and maturation. These all are connected but have differences. Before going to the details, please remember to subscribe the channel. Thank you. Growth. It is a process that begins at conception and continues through adulthood. It refers to any increase in size, strength, or ability. So growth is a physical process of development, and through this process what happens is like a child or a person become physically larger. So once you are physically larger, it means like maybe your height increase, maybe your weight increase, whatever it is quantifiable. That is, we can measure your height and your weight, we can measure. So it is a physical growth, that it happens physically. It is a physical process and it is measurable. It is mostly influenced by genetics. Almost all children tend to grow in almost similar amount until the adolescent period, because during the adolescent period the physical development get accelerated and there will be a major growth spurt during the adolescent time. Till that time, almost all children tend to grow in similar amount. Even in adult brain, if you check that all end up weighing the similar amount. The brain, the weight of it is almost similar in every adult. If a person does not have any disorder that prevents them from growing normally, then they will all end up relatively similar. A normal, healthy adult does not look like a kid. Why? Because they have grown up. They have physically enlarged their size. So they doesn't look like a kid. So the physical change that happens to a child, it is known as the growth. Now we see what is development. It means a change of function as a result of growth. The growth was physical, but here the function changes. That is, our skill, ability will progress. The development refers to progress in skills and abilities. And this development is measured in stages. It happens in certain stages because it occurs in orderly sequence. So development occurs in stages and it includes the progress of your skills and abilities. The growth was physical. If you consider a child, a toddler, while the toddler grow, what happens? They become kid, and this kid will learn to walk, then will run, will jump. Then the kid, they started talking, then learn the way to express their thoughts. So there will be changes in their functions and their skill will develop. There will be improve in their abilities. Then they will learn more complex things like how to calculate, how to solve problems, etc. Development follows predictable pattern. That is, children stand before they walk, and before they could run, they will walk. So a predictable pattern is followed in the developmental stages. And gradually the children build upon skills and learn how to talk, walk, etc. So it comes in certain stages and it is predictable. And this is development. Maturation. So what is it? It is the overall process of growth and development from infancy to adulthood. So growth it was physical. And development, it includes the progress in your skills and abilities. So the maturation, it is the overall process of growth and development from infancy to adulthood. Every child has an inborn timetable and blueprint for maturation, and it is unique to that child. So in other way we can say like maturation includes the physical, intellectual or emotional process of development. So it includes the growth and development, maturation. Okay. And it is not often quantifiable. The growth we said it is a physical change, so we can measure it. But the maturation, we cannot measure it. And it is also influenced by genetics. When you become older, your brain develops. So growth is a physical change, right? So your brain also develop and you will be able to handle more complex tasks. When a person's brain physically develops, they are able to understand intellectually what others are going through and how they might feel. And what happens is like emotionally you will feel empathy for others. So physically you grow, your brain will physically develop and intellectually you will be able to understand others. When an individual becomes mature, they don't behave like a child because they are matured. Babies will follow the same pattern of development, but their timetable will be different. Children may have different abilities at different age and they still grow normally only. As we said, each child has an inborn timetable and blueprint for maturation, and it is unique to that child. That's why the children may have different abilities at different ages. So please don't compare one child with the other. Each child has a different timetable and blueprint, and a child become mature according to that. Now we will see the difference between the growth, development and maturation. Growth refers to the physical development of individual, whereas maturation refers to the intellectual or personal development, and development refers to the changes in the function of one's organs. Then growth is an increase in size. Maturation is an advancement in one's personal and cognitive domain, and development is the improvement of the individual. Development follows a pattern, whereas maturation and growth do not follow a pattern. That is, development has a strictly followed stages and it is predictable. Development and maturation is always positive and an improvement. But the growth, especially weight, it is not always considered to be an improvement. Growth is only limited to the physical aspect, while maturation and development refers to the advancement for all aspects. Growth can be measured, while the maturation and the development cannot be measured. Growth is not a continuous process, but maturation and development is a lifelong and continuous process. Growth, development, maturation are terms that are often used in place of one another. Usually people use it interchangeably. But there are differences and we have seen the differences between the growth, development and maturation. Hope you understood this matter. Hope you like this video. Please subscribe and share. Thank you and keep smiling.